Hey everybody, my name is Blake Cadwell. I'm a co-founder at Soundly.com, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Lexie B2 Plus Powered by Bose. This is currently, according to some retail reports, the #1 seller by units in the United States among over-the-counter hearing aids. You can find it at Walgreens, some Best Buy locations, and certainly online. We actually sell this product directly at Soundly.com as well. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. Over the last couple of weeks, I've spent some time wearing this upgraded version of Lexie's products. I'd formerly worn their Lexie B1 and their B2. Now I'm spending time in Lexie B2 Plus, and I'm going to report back on everything I've found, why we love this product, who we think it's right for, some of the pros, the cons. We're going to talk about the app, talk about the design, get into all of that. Let's jump in. All right, so before we talk about the Lexie B2 Plus powered by Bose, let me give you a little bit of backstory on how Bose became involved in the hearing space and how Lexie's involved with Bose, a little bit about their partnership. This information will help you understand how the service flow works and who this product really comes from. So if we rewind the clock all the way back to 2016, 2017, Bose was working on bringing a consumer-friendly hearing aid to the market. They were collaborating with legislators and the FDA to create what would eventually become the OTC regulation that we now know and is out in the market. So Bose was really on the front end of all of this innovation. In 2021, their product, Bose Sound Control, became the first FDA-cleared device that would fit within this new OTC framework. They launched it to the public. There's a lot of excitement about it. And then a year later, they completely closed down the program. And it really didn't have a ton to do with the product itself. Bose was having some other challenges within their business, and they shut down a lot of their different health groups. So at that time, a lot of customers thought Bose was walking away from the space altogether. But a few months later, they struck a deal with another company called Lexie, which had been in the hearing space with a different product called Lexie Lumen, and Bose and Lexie decided to partner up. So essentially, the Bose technology became available through Lexie's care system. The brand and the innovation was kept alive in this way. Since then, Lexie has primarily sold products that also bear the name Bose. So Lexie B1 powered by Bose, Lexie B2 powered by Bose, and now Lexie B2 Plus powered by Bose. All right, so that's how we got here. Let's take a closer look at the Lexie B2 Plus product and talk about who it might be a good fit for. So as you can see, the design of this product is a receiver-in-canal design. There's a piece that sits behind the ear, a wire that reaches up over the ear, and a speaker that plays sound into your ear. This is the most common style of device across all hearing aid manufacturers. I find that it's the most comfortable, and typically it includes robust features like Bluetooth streaming and rechargeability. We'll talk about both of those in just a second. On the exterior of each hearing aid, there are 2 volume buttons, which I also like. You can manually change the volume without opening up your smartphone app. And the receiver wire does something kind of interesting. It's a bit unique in the market. It has this sharp bend in it, which helps the receiver wire to stay in your ear. Now, some folks find that this creates a little bit more pressure than they'd prefer, and something like Sennheiser All Day Clear, they find a little bit more comfortable, but this product does stay really secure in your ears. Of course, like most devices, these hearing aids come with a number of different ear tips, which you can select out of the box. From a size perspective, Lexie B2 Plus is very similar to other market leaders. This is the Sennheiser All Day Clear, which is probably its main competitor in the market, basically identical in size. So those are the overall notes on the external design of the Lexie B2 Plus powered by Bose. Now let's talk a little bit about the charger. I think this charger looks really great. It's got a nice magnet clip. You can see that each hearing aid just drops into the little space for it. There's a magnet that pulls it down. It's great for dexterity. And this charger will charge up the hearing aids fully in about 3 hours, and it carries a charge with it. So you can take this with you. It'll hold a couple of charges, throw it in your bag, and charge your hearing aids while you're on the go. It uses a USB-C connector on the back, which is standard. You can get these everywhere. And then after you charge your hearing aids, you get about 18 hours of power per charge. Lexie B2 Plus streams from iPhone and Android devices, and they do that using MFI or ASHA protocols. That means that you'll go into the settings of your phone, go to accessibility, you'll connect these devices, and then they'll be able to connect to your iPhone or your Android. You can stream phone calls and music. One thing that's important to note is if you have an Android device, the devices themselves will not pick up your voice while you're on a phone call, so you'll have to hold your phone nearby. If you look at an alternate device like Sennheiser All Day Clear, that captures outbound and inbound sound via phone calls. Now, Lexie does stress that the sound quality of their streaming is not going to be equal to a typical pair of Bose headphones. And that shouldn't be surprising to anyone who's done research around hearing aids. Because of the typical open fit of a behind-the-ear hearing aid, a lot of sound leaks out, which prevents that kind of deep bass that we're used to hearing with a pair of over-ear headphones or even earbuds. So don't expect this to replace your headphones, but you can stream calls and get nice, clear sound with your podcast and anything else you're listening to. Okay, so if you're like most folks, at this point you have a couple of big questions. One is, how do I set up these hearing aids to customize to my particular hearing loss? Because as you probably know, these are over-the-counter devices. You're not working with a doctor to program your hearing aids, which you would do if you went into a clinic. So how does that happen? I'm gonna walk through that in detail. You're probably also wondering how the sound quality of these devices, their ability to manage background noise, sudden sounds, things like that, compares to other products on the market, maybe even other products in a similar price band. We'll talk about that as well in just a second. So let's dig in on programming and setup first. Now, one thing to note is that if you purchase directly through soundly.com, you'll get a complimentary call with our audiologist who will help walk through the entire setup process with you. Many folks are able to do this on their own, but if you get stuck, it's nice to have that backup option that is complimentary with a purchase through Soundly. All right, so with that, let me show you exactly how the setup process works.
Okay, so once you've pulled your hearing aids out of the box, you'll want to pull them out of the charger. You may need to charge them first. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your settings. You'll go to accessibility, and then you'll go to hearing devices. It's here that if you didn't have a pair of hearing aids connected, you would have the opportunity to click and connect your hearing aids directly through the MFI settings. Android devices have a similar protocol that you'll do through the main settings section. Now, once you're done with that, you can jump into the app, and there are two main wheels that you're going to be interacting with as you are programming and adjusting your own hearing aids. The first is just the volume. So as I turn that up, things are getting a lot louder. As I turn it down, of course, they're getting quieter. On the right-hand side is where you're going to be adjusting the frequencies that you want to hear at. So, for example, if I want to hear a lot more crispness or I need high frequencies, I'm going to turn the treble up. That's immediately giving me the sound of more consonants. I can hear S's and T's. If I move this down below the line, I'm getting a lot rounder and fuller and richer sound. You can play with this yourself, figure out what you like. If you take the test, which is available through the app initially when you open up the app screen, it will set your wheels initially to what it thinks you need. It will also set the left and right balance. So you might come in and you've got a little bit more volume coming in your right ear or a little bit more volume coming in your left ear. You can make all of these adjustments yourself. The test basically just gives you a jump start. When you go into the environments, these are basically just presets which will change the number on the screen depending on what you select, but you can change and save your own settings. So if you've tweaked something and you like it just the way it is, you can save that setting so that you can get back to it quickly in the future. One other thing to show you in the app is that you can access service very quickly, either by putting in, you can see I actually had a chat here that I put together. Someone responded to me quite quickly via chat, so you can chat right within the app. Or you can also go to the video call section. You can set up a video call immediately through the app. Just take the survey and get that started. So Lexie's really built in service at the fabric of its product, and that's one of the reasons we really like and appreciate this product. Those are the main things you need to know about the app. In general, one of the easiest apps to use, and certainly one of the apps that gives you the most adjustment capacity out of any of the products on the market, especially over-the-counter products.
All right, so once you have these devices all programmed in your ears and you're out in the world, how does the sound quality of Lexie B2 Plus compare to the other options on the market? Now, the first thing I would say is that unlike other OTC devices on the market that come from WS Audiology or Sonova, which are giants in hearing healthcare, the manufacturer for Lexie's devices is a little bit less known. Now, that comes with some pros and some cons. In general, we find that Lexie gives you more control over what you're hearing via their app. The volume and frequency wheels really give you millions of different combinations that you can access at any time. We also love the fact that you can save those settings as programs. You're really your own DJ with this product. So that's what's happening on the pro side of the sound quality. You're going to have a ton of customization, a ton of options. Now on the con side, we generally hear a little bit more maturity in the most complex environments when we look at a product like Sennheiser All Day Clear. Now, the two products are really neck and neck, and they both get fantastic outcomes in different situations. But we find that Sennheiser does a little bit better with sudden sounds and in managing really loud or intrusive background noise. So when it comes to sound quality, really the question that we would ask folks is, how much control do you want to have in your hands? If you want to make every possible adjustment, if you really like the idea of tweaking and playing, Lexie B2 Plus is almost certainly going to be the right choice for you. If you want a product that's going to do a little bit more of that for you, it'll take you through the initial setup, but you're going to have less knobs to play with, then we say Sennheiser All Day Clear could be a good option for those folks. Okay, with all of that said, where do I think Lexie B2 Plus fits in the overall hearing aid landscape? Now, the first thing to note is that this product is only going to be right for those with mild to moderate hearing loss because it's an over-the-counter device. It's also going to require some self-fitting, self-tuning. If you don't use a smartphone app, this probably isn't the right choice for you. In general, OTC hearing aids might not be the right choice for you. But if you fit a mild to moderate hearing profile and you're okay using an app, this product is probably the one that we would suggest for anyone who likes to tinker, wants to play, wants to have lots of dials to control. We think this is probably your best choice. At around $999, it's not the cheapest hearing aid on the market, but it's definitely a lot less expensive than the national average of around $4,500. And we think that the quality and service and app improvements that you'll get in this product versus something that costs just a few $100s are probably well worth it as well if that's something you can afford. That's it for today. We hope you found this review helpful. If you do decide to purchase directly through Soundly.com, we'd of course be happy to take a look at your hearing test and give you a consultation on whether this product might be right for you. If you check out on our site, you can also use code HEARSOUNDLY just for our YouTube subscribers, and that will give you $50 off of your purchase. Thanks and good luck with your research.